For our second episode of Finding Success as a Creator, we interviewed the one and only RedHeadVixen.
She has a lot of knowledge about brands and partnerships and sponsorships, so this was a really good one for you guys to learn what it takes to land those sponsorships and partnerships in your streaming careers. All right. So this is RedHeadVixen. She is a verified streamer on Kick, used to be a large Twitch streamer as well. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Red. I like to consider myself a Val-riety streamer. Lots of Val, hints of Call of Duty, Dead by Daylight, Faz, party games. I am a mom and military spouse. And I get really, really loud. This is my quiet side, but as we all know, I can scream. So that's all. That's all I got for you.
That's all I got. So you know how we had Apex variety, now we have Val variety.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your streaming history, some of your statistics, stuff like that?
So I started on Twitch. I created my Twitch profile back in like November, December of 2020. I actually started it when we had PCS'd from Germany to our new spot. And I started off on a folded white table, my Xbox, a laptop, and a really bad monitor. And I was playing lots of Verdansk and Modern Warfare 2019. And I, I got affiliated maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later, from meeting a girl Discord group called Daddy's Angels. They separated. It's no longer there anymore. But I kind of expanded myself out. And I ended up taking my husband's old PC because he upgraded his. And I was playing on that for a while. And then one day it couldn't handle COD anymore. And I was never a mouse and key player. I was always a controller player. I could do claw and everything. And then that happened, so I didn't really know what to do. And then my husband, I guess, was like into Valorant for a while, and my friends were telling me like, try Valorant, try Valorant. I was like, that's not my kind of game. And then I ended up, kind of trying it because I had nothing else I could do. And I got obsessed with it, and it brought me to mouse and key. I don't ever use controller anymore. I don't have a controller to use. I don't like controller. And then I got really stuck on Valorant, and sometimes I'll go back to COD, but then, yeah, it was crazy. And then we upgraded that PC to my current one. I built this one with my husband. He helped me pick out the parts and built it together, and he taught me what I had to do, it can handle a lot for what it's got in there. Actually, it's kind of crazy. I got a 4K monitor with a 3070. Yeah, that thing is working. I got 300 frames on Valorant with that 4K monitor. I don't know how it's doing that, but we're not going to argue. But yeah, so I used to stream on Twitch for a while. Took a huge break. Got involved in a community. Took up a lot of my time. Then I was kind of booted out. Then I came back into streaming after that. Got into Kick. Really grew. After that, and it's been great. It's been fun. Like I think I joined Respawn Recruits this past year, and I think I got with most of the brands I'm with now during Respawn Recruits in those weeks.
Makes sense. You've been killing it with those brands, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that a little bit tonight. Just
Yeah.
putting it out there,
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was fast. It was like every week was a brand. Every single week. If I didn't like it, I didn't go with it. But yeah.
It can happen quick. It really can happen quick. Yeah.
For sure. So would you say, I know that you told us like how you started streaming. was that the main reason why you started streaming, or was there a different reason to you starting it?
So I started because, well, my husband was really into streaming when we were in Germany, and I really liked what he was doing. I liked watching him. I liked playing with him when he was streaming, and I kind of took a liking to everything that was going on in like the streaming world and whatever. So when we got to where we are now, he really encouraged me to do it, and I started picking it up, and I was working a full-time job at the time. Well, full-time jobs. I was like back and forth between jobs. And the last job that I had, I actually really, really, really hated. Um, and so he could tell my frustration. He was like, I know you don't want to do this. I know that you're doing it so you can provide for us, and I get it. Don't like
Yeah.
stop because it's like really tearing you down mentally. And he's like, if you want a full time stream, I will fully support you. And so I ended up quitting the job that I was doing that day and took on full time streaming. Um, and it's been
A blessing.
the best decision I made
Yeah.
because I think that like because streaming is like my passion. I love what I do streaming. Um I consider this my job. I love it. I love this job. And I don't really
Yeah.
get that kind of thing. I don't like when I work, but now that I'm streaming, I love it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. You wouldn't trade it for anything, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that feeling you get of streaming, you probably can't get anywhere else, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I get that 100%.
Okay. So, where have you found your most success? Like which platforms have helped you grow the most, and which platforms have you struggled with?
So I wouldn't say okay. I am very much struggling on YouTube. I think YouTube is very, very hit or miss. I haven't I would say I haven't really given it that much effort, but the things that I created and put out there got no attention. And then when I half-assed my editing and put something out there, it got attention.
Don't you just love
Yeah.
that?
And so I really just I don't like YouTube. It's not for me. I'm sure it's for other people. Yeah. And I'm kind of hit or miss with TikTok sometimes. You just have to find the right algorithm.
Yeah.
Um Twitch was kind of a pain. I couldn't smoke on there if I wanted to. Um I couldn't play the music I wanted on there. I know it helped me grow quite a bit and meet a lot of people, but I found a better connection, a better community through Kick than I did anywhere else. Like Kick is my number one.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I know that when you switched over, it definitely seemed like it was a better place for your content for you and as a whole and everything.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen so much change in myself as well. Now that I'm on Kick, I've done so many different things now that I'm on Kick. I seem happier now that I'm on Kick, and
Mhm.
I feel like I mean, yeah, it takes a lot of work, a lot of networking. You have to go around to other people's streams and talk to them if you want to be able to network with others. But that's what you had to do in the beginning days of Twitch too, or starting out. Um,
Yep.
and
100%.
that's pretty much what you're doing over on Kick essentially is regrowing your brand. And yeah, so I've enjoyed it, and I just feel like a lot of people are closer. Um, and it's been just a lot smoother.
Oh,
For sure.
I totally get that. I see it for sure. During your journey, what were some of the tactics you used to find your current success? What were some of the tactics you thought would work but did not?
I don't think I really did much of a trial error. My schedule was very, very picky because I don't really like to stream or game much with my child awake. I only ever do that when he is asleep.
Mhm.
Um, so I didn't really like stream during the day that much. Um, unless my husband was like home over the weekend and was able to watch him. So during like 24 hours, I only ever had them during the weekends. There was no other option. But I did find when it did come to a schedule, streaming on Sundays was not for me, especially during like holidays and football season.
Yeah.
No one
Right. Yeah.
comes, church, like no one comes around on Sundays.
Yeah. Sundays can
That's
So,
either be
fair. Yeah.
really hype or really quiet, that's for sure.
yeah, exactly. So I just kind of gave up on Sundays. It was a nice little break because I take my kiddo to speech about 2 days, 3 days a week now. Um, and so it gives me that little like break to before starting the next week. Um, and other than that, I haven't really done much of a trial error. Everything that I've done or tried when it came to goals of mine, follower goals, sub goals, they've all kind of worked in my favor. Or I never really put so much stress on because I knew I was going to hit it one day, which I
Mm-hmm.
usually did. And I just, yeah, I kept working at it.
So during those low points, like whenever you get into a low point or anything like that, what has helped motivate you get out of those low points? And what's allowed you to take the negative that you're currently in and turn it back into a growth experience? And at any point, did you ever feel like giving up?
I'm currently at a low point. Um, being a military spouse and what I'm currently going through that I can't give all the details about, I'm actually very much struggling, mentally, emotionally. Um, I think that there could also be something personally wrong with me, like my health, that I never got taken care of after having a child. So it's kind of finally starting to hit me. Um, and luckily, I have friends, and I don't like to trauma dump on my friends, so I don't normally do it. But the amount of people that have come forward and said, you can come to us, you can talk to us, we're here for you. You guys were I don't think I ever responded to your message. Actually, that's my bad.
It's okay. No, no, I know you're dealing
um,
with a lot. Don't even stress.
yeah,
Go at your own
and
pace.
that's been what's keeping me going. Like, and obviously, like I've had some other side stuff that I've been working on outside of streams. So like you don't always have to hit the live button to be successful and do well. You've got other things you can work on the sides or whatever. And that's what I've been doing. I have some things in the works currently. And although I'm not able to go live as much, I've got stuff on the back end that I'm working on. So that's really good. And I'm just kind of working slowly at my own pace and not really focusing so hard on forcing myself to press live or forcing myself to create a clip or whatever, because for myself, I'm very, very picky about the clips that I create. I don't like to share every single thing. If I see a clip and I see one thing that's wrong, it's not going out.
Yeah.
I am very perfectiony, and so I will, if it's good, like edit around and tweak it and everything and put it out there. But yeah, I don't put out as much content because I believe in quality over quantity. But yeah.
No, I
No,
get that
I
100%.
I agree with that. And people always underestimate like just how much background work goes into content creation as a whole. Like,
Mhm.
people don't understand. Well, more people are a little bit understanding, but you still have the odd few that are like, well, why can't you just put out the clip? Why? And like you said, you would rather give that quality like content versus, okay, here's a video every day kind of thing, without just
Mhm.
like, I get it totally.
Yeah, people will be like, "You're not gonna make it through, or you're not making it through this competition or whatever because I'm making more clips than you or blah blah
Oh
blah."
my
That
god.
has nothing to
Yeah.
do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all. Nope, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's for
That
sure.
doesn't it's
You
not everything.
no.
Creating content is not everything. And putting
Mm-hmm.
it on every social is not everything. Just
Mhm.
like hitting live is not everything. There's
Facts.
so many things that come into play, and some people just don't understand that.
Mhm.
But that's why we're here. So they know, like, there's more
Exactly.
things that you can
Exactly.
do besides, this and that.
What works for you may not necessarily work for the next person, but they can
Mm-hmm.
still take it as advice and work their way around it. So,
Exactly.
I get you. I get you.
Yes.
So, next question for you is how do you go about handling negativity or off putting behavior in your chat? So, i.e., like self promo, trauma dumping, coming in with a negative comment, things like that.
I'm very forward. So I will just be like, I'll be like, yo, like, don't do that. Or there's a couple times I would message someone personally and be like, hey, don't do that. Here's why. And I've had a couple people who have gotten very, very offended by it and straight up would attack me on some socials and everything or in chat, whatever. But um my mods are pretty on top of, deleting and getting rid of that negativity, or, they know that I'm adult enough to, handle it. So they'll be watching and seeing how I handle it, and then I'll make some stupid joke like, "What is the shape of Italy?" And they'll be like, "A boot," and then we'll just boot them out. Um, but
That's so funny.
yeah,
I like that.
we kind of like,
Damn.
hey, here's your warning, and then if they want to freak out, then that's on them. If they want to, take that with a grain of salt and, respect my boundaries and everything, perfect, then they can stay here. But I know where my space is and what my space is supposed to be. And I'm trying to make sure it's a safe space for everybody, including myself.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Exactly. You got to make sure it's safe, not just for you as well. Like, yeah, you obviously want to make everyone feel welcome and whatever, but if you're not comfortable in your own safe space, that's a problem for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, okay, y'all can ban now. It's fine.
Mods, do your job.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Do your
I get
thing,
it.
chicken wing.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your mods and stuff like that a little bit. How important is it for your mod team when it comes to the positivity of your stream, like the success of your stream, stuff like that? How do you motivate your team? What kind of expectations do you have for them? How do you make it so your team performs the best when it comes to your stream so you have the best possible outcome?
So I don't hold my mods accountable for being in my streams if they don't want to or need a break or anything like that. Um, I have quite a few mods, so they kind of come in and out. They'll be hiding or whatever, doing their own thing. And I'm honestly blessed by my mods because I feel like I don't do that much for them. I mean, I do my giveaways for my whole community, and a lot of my mods are in there for it, and quite a few of them do win some things, but I never like get the chance to give back to them. Um I heard, no, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I did hear that they might be doing something where mods can get paid in the
Yes.
future. Yeah.
Something
Okay.
like that, yeah.
So I'm really hoping that actually works out. That would be amazing because my mods absolutely deserve it. They literally bless me with so many things. They'll get me coffee. Just recently, my mod Yobi sent me an XL Stream Deck because mine broke and I didn't have an
Oh.
XL. It was just a little mini one, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I don't use this anymore. You can have it." I'm like, "What? You're not even gonna like? Do you want me to pay for it?" He's like, "No, no, you're fine." I'm like, "Okay." And then like my friend Neppy, my mod, he sends me like money for coffee sometimes. He's like, "Here, get yourself a coffee. I got a bonus." Core will do it too. She's like, "I got a bonus. Here's some subs and some gifts off your wish list." Bat will come in gifting subs all the time. He bought me a new ring light. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but it's seriously so sweet. Like, they're amazing, and I just feel like they deserve so much more than what I give them. But I never, ever, ever hold them accountable or responsible for anything if they, you know, can't be there, don't want to be there, or whatever.
think maybe giving them that bit of freedom also helps with their mental health aspect of it as well. I get
Yeah.
it. The final question for you, Madame, is what is one tip that you would give to new creators who are starting out now?
Just be yourself. Um, be yourself, but like remember your values, I guess, like, and the etiquette of this streaming world and career, because the moment you overstep a very big rule and boundary, it could definitely affect you. Um, but don't ever be afraid to be your silly, goofy self. Um, if you don't always have to be jumping around, dancing, doing something dumb. You could just be sitting there playing a video game and, just chatting it up. But all in all, like, don't feel like you have to be fake to somebody to gain a view or a follower or a sub.
Oh, I
I think
agree.
that's all I really got.
No,
Yeah.
I
No,
think that's
that's really
perfect.
good.
And I to really emphasize on like the whole streamer etiquette, I think a lot of people really don't either choose not to know what the streamer etiquette is or they genuinely don't know. And I think with a lot of creators, we need to make sure that we put that out there like, hey, just like the whole self promo thing, like, hey, don't do this in someone else's chat unless it was asked.
Yeah,
Unless the
exactly.
person is asking it directly, then yeah, don't do this because, like,
Yeah.
you see the self promo all the time and it's like, bruh.
I think
Yeah,
too, a
it
lot
gets
of the new
deep.
generation doesn't even know, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think they don't know.
I think the whole new phase of people coming in, because with Kick starting out, there's a lot of new streamers through that. And there's also, a lot of people have come out of nowhere to Twitch who have lost jobs after the pandemic or whatever. But I think a big problem is a lot of the new generation actually doesn't even know what the etiquette of streaming is anymore. I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of streamers out there that just simply need just a little bit of education to understand, and then one, to better themselves, but to also better what's around them as well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And never, like, I guess this is another tip. No matter how well you do, never put it in somebody's face. Always
Oh,
stay
yes.
humble. Always remember where you came from. Always remember who was there. Because the moment you forget who was there, who's been there, who's always supporting you, I feel like you just die off, you know?
Yep.
No one's gonna want to watch you because, like, let's say, for example, my mod Neppy is an OG. He's been there for a very, very long time. Um, I've known him since that ginger girl over on Twitch. She used to stream and he was a mod for her. Then she stopped streaming and he came over to me, but before that he was my friend and he still is my friend. And he will always be my friend. He's amazing. He's so kind and I will never forget him. And yeah, that's just a prime example. Like, there are people that matter and care about you and have been there and were there when you were at your lowest and would still be there. So you just got to remember that they're there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
First question: what is the process you go through when you look for mods?
I have to get to know them first. Uh, for sure. Like, if I never really did, like, well, I've tried it before. I did an application thing for mods, and the application, I pulled in like 3 mods and they just used me for clout.
Ah, we
Um,
love that.
so I stopped doing that and I just brought in mods where I felt like I could trust them, and I've been chatting with them and I feel comfortable with.
What is the best way you have presented yourself to a brand you wanted to work with?
I got one that I did recently, and let me pull it up. So, Whittle Bears recently did, I can't type, recently was looking or announced that she was looking for um, to help Meta PCs with the affiliate program? Well, I'll just kind of shorten it up. I introduced myself. I talked about how I would be very interested, talked about how I love PCs and I enjoy learning and educating and everything about PCs and components and everything. Um, and how I had built my PC with my husband and built his PC with him. And we also worked together to build our friend's PC to give to him. So we really found an interest in that. And then I uploaded, which was, I did not see anyone else do this in the comments, but I uploaded my media kit. I created a media kit. You can either do it like off of Canva, you can do it on Beacons. I did mine on Beacons. If you do it on Beacons though, there will not be Kick analytics on there.
Yeah.
So you would either have to make one of your own off of Canva with the Kick analytics on there or something like that. But yeah, I just shared that and then I put the link of my Kick on there as well. And Little Bears noticed it and she made a comment. She said she really, really liked it. So yeah, that's a good example of like how I was representing myself. I really put myself out there. I almost like kind of like bother a company in a way. For example, I'm really, really trying for Dunkin' right now. I love Dunkin'
Yes.
Donuts. And
Donkin, if you see this YouTube video at a later time, you know who to hook up. Okay.
Dunkin',
Sponsor.
please, I beg. They hit me up when I tweeted about them and sent me their email so that I could send them my media kit and all of my socials, and I did, and they haven't gotten back to me, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop trying. I'm going to bother them like
Exactly.
every month, I'm going to say, until they finally respond to me. But never just stop, like annoy them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Literally,
I mean,
like
we've gone after.
Advanced GG.
Well, Advanced GG we went after for about a year, but there's another one that we can't speak of. But to say the very least,
Fingers
we
crossed.
I'm crossing my fingers. For you
there's
guys.
some we've literally bothered for like 18 months at a time before we even got a reply. So
Oh
Don't
wow.
quit. Don't stop. Exactly what Red said. Don't stop. Just keep going at them.
Don't stop. Even if they deny you then, like
I think one thing I want to add to actually that Red said, but it probably wasn't like necessarily picked up fully is don't just do what everybody else is doing when you go for those applications. Like
Yeah.
go above and beyond and try to be like the one that stands out the most.
exactly.
Like because like it really does make a difference, especially when you're going against hundreds, sometimes thousands, tens of thousands, even 100,000 different people.
Yeah.
If you can make yourself stand out, your odds get way, way better.
Yeah. You can take the way I was running with Respawn, like the recruits and everything, how much that actually made me blow up. I ratioed and chair guy over there even said it himself. I ratioed the fuck out of them when I finally announced that I was partnered with them.
So funny.
But he said it himself. It wasn't me who said it. It was him. I swear to God. But I did something very, very different. And although it did get me cut, they noticed me. And my impressions and everything with that video that I did was so different from everybody else. I never shared my stats at all. I did not rub it in anybody's face. I do not believe in rubbing my numbers in my competitors' faces. What I did was boast about the people that supported me. That is what I did. Because at the end of the day, they were the reason that I even am where I am.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I included them more than I even talked about myself. And yeah, it got me cut. But Respawn noticed me and they
Yeah.
were like, this is not the end for you. We will be in talks soon. they pretty much admitted you're going to get picked up. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
awesome. Yeah.
it was,
I like that.
yeah.
That you don't. It's not like everyone else who's like, pick me, look at my numbers, like that kind of shit. Like, not
I
saying that it's
never
bad,
ever do
but
that. I
yeah.
do not like doing that. The only reason I will do that is if I individually message a company who is looking for my media kit and all of my numbers that I need to share with them.
Yes,
That is
I
the
agree with that.
only reason I do that. But I do not ever publicly expose my numbers like that to rub into anybody's face. I did, however, once do a TikTok of it, but it was like, it wasn't me like, I got more than you. It was like, this is my progress. This is what I got for my stream, and here's a clip to end it. And then I was going to continue to do more, but then I moved over to Kick. So
Yeah,
I stopped doing it.
for sure. Lunar wants to know, how do you determine emotes? Do you believe they play anything in growing an established stream?
Oh, absolutely. I think that everybody should have some sort of booty shaking emo. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, everybody loves the booty shaking emotes for some reason, and I
Facts.
feel like having one of your own kind of plays a big part because somebody might like yours to use or want to use yours or whatever. Um, I'll give an example again. So Amaze, he and a couple people in his streams are always like you're and somebody else has one of those rat jams whatever and it says
Oh my
you're
god,
in it.
yes.
And I was like, "Oh my god, I want that cuz I love the rat jam and they say you're and I say you're all the time."
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, I might go sub to this person just because I want that emote. I mean, like seriously, I think it's like really, really important um, to really have things that like stand out when it comes to the emotes. Having the typical like raids, the hype, all that, but that's kind of how I determine is like what you're definitely gonna need, and then like some of the unique ones.
How do you deal with negative trolls who come into your chat? So, I guess to add on from earlier, but like this is straight just negativity. Like they're really shitting on you and they're like saying all these rude things to you and
Like I'm a bot or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just don't put up with it. I'm like, if you're not gonna be positive, just get out. Like,
Mhm.
I really am not. I don't have the time, energy, or anything to be giving you my attention. So if you're gonna be that way, then don't even bother coming around.
Bright wants to know, when it comes to preparing content, is it more planned or in the heat of the moment? Do you take inspiration from what's trending and on TikTok, for example? Also, have you pioneered any of your own trends with success?
So I haven't really done any of my own trends for success, but what I did find really fun and interesting was a lot of the different editing styles for Valorant. A lot of the masking, splices, stuff like that. I do mine off of DaVinci. I've been back and forth thinking about trying Premiere Pro, but I know I can do a lot of the things on DaVinci that I wouldn't need Premiere Pro for because I can do it on DaVinci. Um, but those are the ones that I really really enjoy. They're not necessarily like planned, but they're not like really in the heat of the moment. I kind of, when I do those things, I take the clips that I thoroughly enjoy, which is hard to find, and I'll put them together and kind of add it to a song with the editing styles, that kind of thing. And then I'll upload it. I mean, I guess there was kind of like a not like a trend, but something I did that I didn't see a lot of other people do. Especially on TikTok. I don't think I really saw anyone else do this, but I used to host the first and only Valorant 1v1s on Kick. Doing digs only. So, yeah, we did that. I did that a lot for a while. And then, a lot of things came up and I stopped doing them, but that was kind of like my thing.
Yeah.
And I did upload a video on TikTok of it, and it did okay. But yeah.
Lunar asked, speaking of branding, how do you decide what you want to partner or get a sponsorship with? And how do you get your foot in the door with brands? Like, how do you get into contact?
So I um I definitely try those brands before I feel like I need to or want to show an interest in them. Like for example, Advanced GG. Um, I really liked their product. My husband was a part of an org where they were partnered with Advanced GG. So I tried a lot of their product and I really, really liked it. And then um, I was grinding for Limitless, which I am now a part of. And they weren't like requiring you to be um, partnered with Advanced GG, but they were partnered with Advanced GG and their partners are um, with Advanced GG. So I was like, okay, that's actually perfect because I really like their product. And then um, I was like hanging out or whatever in a VC or no, not a VC in my stream one day, and my numbers continued to go up, and they did some of them, most of them, do expect a certain CCV for Advanced GG at least. Um, and then a good friend of mine who ended up becoming a partnership manager hit me up and they're like, "Hey, how would you feel about doing that?" And I'd be like, "Actually, that's really what I wanted to do. I would absolutely love that." And yeah, so I've been really enjoying Advanced GG, not only because of the product, but because I can actually work really well with them, and they've been really giving to my community. Um, so I haven't really reached out to many brands. Those brands have kind of come to me, and I have shown them like constantly, like I love their stuff, whether it be on my socials, my streams. It's a really big hit when you talk about it on Twitter for some reason. Um, when you say you like a brand or whatever. I ended up
Yeah.
getting with Cosmic Candles because I kept talking about them, talking about their partners, sharing the partners' codes, sharing the candles that I had. Um, and they were like, "We would really love for you to join us," and blah, 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 blah. I was like, "Oh my God, yes." Like, I absolutely love that partnership. That is one of my favorites, is the Cosmic Candles one.
Yeah.
Um, but then there's other people, for example, like Respawn. Respawn was a recruits thing, where they had challenges, and I made it to top 25 out of I think it was 400 people for that season,
That's
and
amazing.
before I was cut. So, and they still saw an interest in me because I knew how much I loved their brand. But it just kind of depends. Like, I didn't really reach out much with brands. They came to me apart from Respawn, where I just grinded really, 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 really hard during their Respawn recruits phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember seeing those tweets. Those were really fun to look at.
Yeah, those tweets were probably the reason I got a lot of the brands I got, because Gamer Advantage came to me, Cosmic Candles came to me, Advanced GG came to me just like maybe it was just in the no, in the very, very beginning is when I got picked up by Limitless. Um,
Fair. I do have a question myself. Also, welcome in prods. How are you doing? My question for you. What is one goal that you have set for yourself that you want to achieve by the end of the year? And what are some of the steps that you think would help achieve that goal?
I was going to set goals for myself this year, but I didn't. Because I had realized last year when I set my goals, I ended up exceeding them without even realizing.
There you go.
So I did not set goals this year, and also because it is going to be PCS time. Um, so we will be moving to a whole different duty station, looking for a house, getting settled in, I'm gonna try to go back to work. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. We'll see. I always say that, and then I end up not liking that job. But I am PCSing back home-ish because there's a base where we're from. So I might end up finding something. But yeah, I don't really have like massive goals this year, except for maybe like a larger CCV, because I'm currently sitting at 40 and I would love to get to 75.
And final question, because we are out of time. What social for yourself do you see helps you grow the most?
Freaking Twitter. Twitter,
Yep.
Twitter, 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 Twitter. Because for some reason, people love that social media so much.
Yeah, social media is the word we'll use. Yeah.
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 And I hate it. Twitter, people are becoming therapists on there, and it's just like, you're not a therapist. It's not your office. I'm not your patient. But for some reason, you really, really grow on Twitter.
Yep.
I've had so many people from Twitter come into my streams and check out my content than I have on any other platform or social
True.
media.
Twitter
Yep.
seems
I
to be
don't
the number
understand.
one right now. It used to be TikTok, but now it's Twitter for some reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they really like videos for some reason on Twitter, putting that out there
They
too.
do. Like, what am
Yeah.
I even posting on TikTok for anymore? I don't get it. I
Yes,
don't
for those who
understand.
don't use Twitter, it's X, but I refuse to call it X.
Yeah,
They
no.
tweet
When you
on it.
look at it, Google
Tweet.
it right now. Go on a
It's still Twitter.
Google Chrome. It says
still
It
Twitter.
says Twitter. Yeah, like it's Twitter.
Yeah.
It's not X. I refuse. Until they change it where it's x.com, it's Twitter.
Which I don't think they can do.
Actually,
X.com.
it is both. Actually, it is
is it?
officially both now. Yes.
Oh, well, it's still Twitter.
Yeah, it's still
Still
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, still Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't change my mind.
Well, that's all the time we do have. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming on and talking about brands, because I know a lot of people have been talking about brands a lot lately, and I know a lot of people, it is a struggle to figure out how to go into even applying to a brand or talking to a brand or anything like that. So we really appreciate you coming to talk about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, of course. And if like people ever feel like they need to, hit me up for any questions or any help, like they're more than welcome to. I might not get back to them right away, so don't hold an expectation like I'm ghosting you. I should be getting back to you right away. I got shit going on. But yeah, like I would love to be able to help anybody with that kind of thing, or like look over media kits or anything like that.